Good evening, everybody. Broadcasting from the sunny shores of Keuka Lake. Just been perfect weather up here. Today was 80 degrees, very light breeze, light fluffy clouds. People out on the lake. All right, so what we're basically looking at here is this is why you don't sell in May and go away. So we could see what happened here in the last couple of days, or last couple of trading days. We had the reversal. Then we had the bullish harami, or the this is what they call the homing pigeon, but it acts the same as I haven't done. I will take pictures. Sandy is supposed to be taking pictures of everything. And it's kind of quiet here after we had everybody up, the guys up for the first few days. It was a fun group. Anyway, it's just fun here at the lake right now. Well, as we can see, this is called a homing pigeon. That's when you have a dark candle and then an inside day, but another dark candle, opposite of the bullish harami. So the homing pigeon is the inside day, but instead of the candle being bullish, it's a dark candle. But it still acts the same as a harami. The selling has stopped. And today's gap up, as we can see, took us back up above the T-line. The NASDAQ, which sold off hard the other day, I mean real hard, bullish harami gap up, and notice where they gapped up, above the 50, above the T-line, and above the candle that told us they were selling off hard. So pretty much an indication that things were turning right back around. And let me do this before we... You can see how this whole uptrend has been relatively healthy in the sense that they take it up, profit taking, take it up, profit taking, take it up, profit taking. Now it looks like they're in the process of taking it back up. Yeah, so there should be some more upside. So today closed out some of the short positions that had the prospect of going lower, but on Friday with the bullish harami, to stay short, you needed to see a lower trading today. Let's see, what was I trying to do? I was trying to do crude oil, kind of drifting down, and if you make this chart smaller, you can see what the general trend is. It's down. So now we watch to see if they bring it back to the 50. If they get through the 50, likelihood they're bringing it back down into toward 40. I think the magic number for most producers is it has to be $40 a barrel or higher to stay in it. We've been short live cattle ever since it rolled over up here. Friday it did a bullish harami, which meant if it opened higher, we were closing out the short position, but it kind of waffled in here, telling us there's still more downside. So the logical spot at this point is to put a buy stop just at today's open. If it comes back up through there, it's telling us that the 200-day moving average is still pretty much acting as a support level. All right, I'm trying to think what else there is out there that's doing anything real vivacious. Hogs moving up nicely, kind of a J-hook bobble breakout. All right, the ones we were recommending today, CUDA, there was a kicker signal. Anytime you see a kicker signal, I usually go after those because they're going to have a high probability of trading higher. So this one you can stay long, especially if it breaks out through here. Your next target should be up here at least to the top of this trend channel. We also were going to go after Boot. Had it opened higher and traded higher, it didn't. It had the J-hook pattern prospect. But remember, if it comes back up through this level, you want to be a buyer because that puts your J-hook pattern and your left-right combo right here at the T-line still in effect. I was trying to think of which one we just made some good money with. Right now you can be back in CLMT, J-hook pattern. That's not the one I was looking for. And remember, the bigger this signal is, the more compelling. There's been a message of investor sentiment. Stay long on this one, as long as the 45 degree stays in place. KEM. Another one that hasn't been able to come back and close below the T-line. Another left-right combo, J-hook pattern. Stay with this one. Hertz, same scenario. When we close this one out, we bought it back when it came up through the T-line. Because essentially you have your classic fry pan bottom J-hook pattern. And notice what it did today. When it opened above the 200, told us the 200 was not going to act as resistance anymore. It actually came down and tested it to see if it was acting as support, which it did, which is a good sign that they aren't selling it off right now. ATOS, there's your cradle-type pattern. You stay long on this one, and you can even be a buyer of this one still if it breaks to the upside coming out of this this little resistance level. Next target somewhere up in this range. Trip, another one that has been acting well. You can see the big fry pan bottom. You can see the belt hold signal. You can see that they've never closed it below the T-line. This is starting to tell you the instigation of buying is coming back in. This is where you could get a good, strong move to the upside coming out of the fry pan bottom. AGI, all you can do here is stay long as this 45 degree stays in place. We've been short PI because of the dumpling top. Right here, it gave some signs that it might be bottoming, but nothing yet. And CC, we had been short, but then on Friday it did a bullish engulfing signal, which meant if it opened positive today, you close out the short position, which we did. Now you've got CC back in the prospect of a bullish or J-hook pattern. Oops, let's see. Some of the biggies like NVIDIA. Bad move on Friday, but they brought it right back up above the T-line. So you might keep an eye on this one for trades. Netflix, still nothing here yet to tell you you want to cover any short positions if you happen to be short. Tesla, stay long as this stays above the T-line. You can see how on Friday they used the T-line once more as a support. Amazon sold off last week. Now looks like it's doing the same patterns of everything else. You're in the oversold area. You had a bullish Harami gap up. You can get ready to start buying Amazon on positive trading from here. Apple, not a great looking chart, but you can see the uptrend remains in progress. Notice where the bullish Harami occurred on Friday, right smack dab off the T-line. Oh, did this? All right. Some of the, see, Nugget is still showing a lot of indecision here. Nothing going on in the gold stocks. And Labu also having trouble getting out of this slow drift. So you want to see if it's going to break this downtrending channel. You do have a bullish Harami in the oversold area, gap up. So if they bring this up through the T-line, it tells you the biotechs is starting to come back. We were going to short Echo, but it opened positive. Had it opened lower, you could see how the bearish J-hook pattern would have been in place. And Under Armour, we covered that short position. Because it had the prospects of failing here, but today, after the inverted hammer and opening positive and closing above the T-line, we can obviously see there's not a whole lot of bearish pressure in this one. Same scenario on Logi. Popped up today, covered that short position. Because you're in the oversold area and you're starting to see some buying. Just takes the prospects of being in the right direction pretty much out of the picture. And COTV, same scenario. Notice after the big gap down, they started selling it off, but then you had a left-right combo on Friday with a positive open today. Another one that you could close out. You can always re-short it, but right now the probability, say you're in the oversold area, left-right combo and a bullish open, it's not the place to be short anymore. Let's see, what else do we do here? We did COTV. And Siri, left-right combo, bullish doji. Makes it very simple. If this one opens positive tomorrow, your doji sandwich is in place. We'll probably re-recommend CLMT on any positive trading. It looked like it was trading at 620 after hours tonight. And BIDA, this one, if you like trading BIDA, this one's a good-looking chart right now. Because remember, there's your piercing signal, almost a bullish engulfing signal. Gap up through this level, that tells me wave 3 is in progress. CMTL, this is where you observe the obvious. Notice all the dojis are occurring right here at the 50 and the T-line. And then they told you which way they've taken it. I'd be a buyer of on this one on positive trading tomorrow. And agro, kind of the same scenario. Supporting here, kind of a bobble breakout from the at the 50. Next target should be at least the 200-day moving average. MZOR, another one that's coming back up. Decent looking chart and could possibly put you on another wave like this, taking you up into this area, giving you about a 15% upside. Go. J-hook pattern. Be ready to buy this one on strength. Oh, whose handwriting is this? That's not it. That's not it. What the heck did I write in there? Oh, not even close. Still not getting it. There you go. Big fry pan bottom, an ALRM. And notice what happened on the breakout. Big, huge move, consolidation. Definitely one that can be bought on strength. Beazer Home J-hook pattern can be bought on strength. VFC J-hook pattern. Probably a good option trade setup if it opens positive tomorrow. And HDS, you can see the little scoop type pattern, bullish Harami, makes this interesting because it's right here at the 50, which means if it opens positive, you got a lot of running room to get up here to fill this gap, which means your next target could be the 200-day moving average. Okay, on the short side, you still might want to keep some in the shorts in the portfolio. Chico's, you can see the shooting star gap down, bearish engulfing, and pretty much broke this level. You could be shorting this one. There could be a good 40% or 25% move to the downside. WPX. Notice how this hasn't been able to get back up above the T-line, and it's now closed at the 50 and just below the halfway point of this candle. If this opens lower tomorrow, good prospect. They can break this level, taking you down much lower. We're still short NBR. Well, Shazam. As you can see the dumpling top, you can see where the failure occurred. A shooting star gravestone doji that just touched the 50 and started selling off. Kind of figure your first target should be at the bottom of this trend channel, somewhere down in this range. NTRI, get ready to short this on weakness. Bearish J-hook pattern. EJ Maxx. Bearish engulfing right here at the 50. Next target could be down in this area. Good 10. That'd be 10%. Yep. Close to 10% to the downside. And Hess, another dumpling top. You're getting in the area of the breakout area to the downside. Another one that could have a steep drop. So anyways, right now with the markets coming back up, what we don't want to see tomorrow is another big drop. That would tell you that we're still in the consolidation stage. If it opens positive, we're back into this J-hook type uptrend. Now remember, this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 days. I think if you look at the Japanese statistics, and I think it might be the first book, Profitable Candlestick Trading, they said if you see 8 to 10 days in a row in an uptrend, the probabilities of a sell-off are extremely strong from that point. But the nice thing about this whole market move is, let's see, it's smaller. Since it started up from this consolidation stage, and they bring it up, they consolidate it. Bring it up, consolidate it. Bring it up, consolidate it. Brought it up, consolidate it. So it's not like we're running rampant. That everybody's getting enthusiastic. It's still a nice, steady uptrend. Okay, I guess with that, are there any general questions on candlesticks? And this reversal signal. It's labeled one white soldier. I read it in another candlestick book, and yes, I read your second book and currently rereading. Good. 2-day pattern occurs after a downswing. First candle is black, second candle is white, second candle gaps up at the opening, second candle closes above previous day's open, body and size, present shadows doesn't matter, a strong bullish reversal signals, examples. All right, pick an IHR. No, that is not a reversal signal. Because remember, the Japanese rice traders, after 400 years, if this was some sort of signal, they'd be telling us what it is. One white soldier, I've never seen it. Let me take a look at AUH. Yeah, kind of the same scenario. What it tells you, though, is you might have an uptrend, but you much more conscious of what happens once it gets to the first resistance level. Does the doji color matter? Right up here, is that what you're asking, Carol? No, the shooting star have a dark body or a light body. The factor is the length of that tail. Let's see. Are there situations, signals where yes, if you're this, let's see, where would I? Yes, if you're way below the T line and you see a buy signal, at least you can kind of figure your first target is moving back up to the T line. So remember, the number one criteria for candlesticks are the signals. The T line is just a confirming indicator. So if you're way below the T line and you see a buy signal, kind of assume that your first target is probably the T line. Then you see what it does from there. Let's see, PR, KR. Well, mild dumpling top, but you definitely need to see this break down. The fact that they blasted it out, this really. Yeah, really a dumpling, even though it's a dumpling top, it needed to see bearish confirmation. Friday's candle. Oh. The color of the doji. That's not quite a doji. Let me go over here just to see what it looked like on. Yeah, that's more of a doji. And the color of the doji doesn't really matter. Remember, a doji is a very small body. So the doji color is insignificant. It's the fact that it's a very indecisive day. Oh, a left-right combo. Where were the left-right combos? I forgot. Will come. A left-right combo there, Jim put it in, is a doji followed by a bullish engulfing, especially if you're in the oversold area, or a bearish engulfing if you're in the overbought area. Bah. Does the length of the shadows, do the shadow lengths matter? Not really, not in this case, because there's your inverted hammer, gap up. So, yeah, usually if you see the length of the shadows greater to the downside, that means every time the bears knocked it down, the bull stepped in. Same scenario up here. When you start seeing more shadows to the upside, that means the bulls are starting to lose strength. The bears are starting to take over. A cradle pattern, humbug. I can't remember which one was the cradle pattern. This is kind of your cradle pattern. Cradle pattern is your big headboard, your flat bed, and then your footboard that comes more than halfway up this candle. And the bigger this candle is, the more likely you've seen that reversal. You use other confirming besides, no, very simply, Tim, the stochastics basically tell you if you see a buy signal in the oversold area, the Japanese race traders say the probabilities of a bullish reversal is pretty strong. If you see a candlestick sell signal in the overbought area, that's not the greatest chart to look at. That your probabilities are pretty strong that the reversal has occurred. So if we see a bearish engulfing in the overbought area, that's significant. If we see a bearish engulfing in the oversold area, it doesn't really mean anything. Fry pan versus dumpling top as last pattern. Which one wins? Well, you can see that was kind of your fry pan bottom, and it's still based on a breakout occurring. So that's kind of your fry pan bottom, double bottom. But you can see once it got up here to the T line, or the 50, it failed. So once your pattern starts confirming, you now use everything else as far as whether that trend is continuing. As far as a fry pan bottom versus a dumpling top, fry pan bottom is going to occur at the bottom. Dumpling top is going to occur, obviously, at the top. SVXY, that's the VIX short term. Just like the whole market right now, they popped it back up. In this case, it's kind of a kicker type signal. I would still watch to see what it does at the 50 and the T line. It needs to get back up above this support level to tell you they're back in an uptrend. All right. We did Tesla already. Tesla is stay long as it stays above the T line. All right. Jim, I guess go ahead and do the double line. And in 4.8 seconds, do the next double line. All right. I know you'll all be happy to hear the news that the other night I passed the kidney stone. Yep. I've got it sitting right here on my desk calendar. Oh, they want to hear this. Yep. So it's about the size of a small pea. So I guess it's like the old saying, how do you make a small fortune in real estate? You start with a large fortune. So I guess the same is true here. How do you get a small pea? You start with a large pea. Oh, man, it's so funny. All right, let's see what we got here. That's right. PACB, you stay long on the J hook. Just use the T line as your stop. I wouldn't be afraid to be buying this one on positive trading tomorrow. Palm, Morningstar signal. Another one you can be buying on positive trading if it comes up through the T line. MDXG, you can start buying this one on positive trading, kind of your fry pan bottom, and you're in the breakout area. The Russell popped up right off the 200. So now you watch to see if they can get back up through the T line. And again, notice what you had on the 200, a doji, followed by a gap up, your best friend. If it comes up through the T line, it tells you the Russell is acting strong. Boeing, J-hook pattern setting up, and this is kind of your classic. You can see the huge fry pan bottom coming out of Boeing. And then where did they start taking profits? After they started gapping up in the overbought condition. This is kind of your left-right combo. Notice you got a shooting star doji followed by a bearish engulfing. The doji tells you indecision. The bearish engulfing tells you they've made their decision on which way they're going to go. So, but right now, with the bullish engulfing on Friday and confirmation today, if they open Boeing positive, breaking this downtrending channel, look for the next wave to the upside. Can you turn that light on? Okay, now I can see my keyboard. UCTT can be bought, but you can see that you're in a wedge. So once it gets to this level, I probably wouldn't pay. If you're going to buy it, you anticipate seeing what it does right here at the top of that wedge formation. NVTA, that's kind of your cradle pattern. Now, I equate a Morningstar signal like this with either 1 or 2 indecisive trading days before your big day. When it goes to 3, now I categorize it as a cradle pattern. But notice you had kind of your hammer right off the 200 and a strong, this is also known as a column reversal. Big down day, consolidation, big up day, 2 columns. Halliburton, you just stay short. There's still no buy signal. I'd probably not be shorting at this time. The reason is you're getting close to your support level. You're in the oversold area, and you're starting to see indecisive trading. Yep, there's probably better places to be shorting. Your probabilities are not as great right now to short at that level. PCMI, kind of a doji sandwich today. You can be buying this one. That's a good-looking chart. CAR has come back up, kind of in, I guess, sympathy of Hertz. Stay long. Now, you don't want to see this. I wouldn't want to see this trade back below today's low. That would tell me there's profit taking. You basically want to see this open positive and trade positive, doing a bullish doji sandwich. Twilio, not a great-looking chart because it's pretty choppy up here. But if you're buying it, it needs to stay above the T-line. An AVEO, J-hook pattern, you can still be buying this one on positive trading. Momo, another one that's got a best friend signal bouncing off the 50. If you're buying this one on positive trading, just be aware of this resistance level here at around the 47.40 area. That is a best friend signal, yes. SINO. Nothing of any great consequence here. I probably wouldn't be doing anything with this until you see good confirmation above the T line. MRNS. MRNS. Is the re-entry an option now? When it came, today's positive trading, Oh boy, at this point you're in a higher risk area. You do have the fry pan bottom, you have the J hook. It could be going higher, but you're in a high risk area. I'd probably be doing something else. If you do decide to buy, you've got to be a lot more diligent as far as keeping your stop pretty tight. NKTR. Bullish Harami back up to the T-line. If you had been short, you should have covered it today. I wouldn't be going long until I see good confirmation above the T-line. Suns, I think saw that just above the T-line. It definitely needs to open positive tomorrow. It's doing everything right. That one I don't know if was I correct. It was a one-shot thing. I think that was an error. But you can see how it's pulled back. Use the 200. So you can be buying this one on positive trading with the expectation your next target is going to be at the 50-day moving average. J-hook pattern on Wi-Fi. I'd be a buyer of this one on positive trading tomorrow, breaking out. ESPR. Not as great. You can be buying this one. It's got to definitely get through this resistance area. It's just not anything real dynamic on this one just yet. It needs more bullish confirmation. ZGNX. There's your big morning star signal, but it still has to get up above the T-line. AGI we did. You just stay long on this as long as it stays above the T-line. KNX, that's a nice J-hook pattern. You can buy this one on positive trading at the breakout. Notice where they gapped this one up today. They gapped it up knowing that this was your resistance level. So if they're gapping it up to that level, they probably don't have too much concern about the resistance level anymore, which means your next move will start. AVEO, is that what I just did? Looks about the same. Another one that you can get ready to buy on positive trading tomorrow. BABA, Sports Thursday. All right. BABA, nothing here yet to get real excited about. At this point, I probably would have been out of it here, and I wouldn't be in it just yet. I think we did NT. We do NT and X. Yeah, it needs to open positive and break out. NTA. There's your best friend signal. It has to get up through the T-line also. Taco, just stay long. At this point, with you up here in the overbought area, I'd have my safety stop at yesterday's or that close. If it comes down through there, you know they're bringing it back to test the T-line. TAL. Well, what happened here? TAL not found. All right. DNA. Did we just do that one? Apparently we did. That one has to get up through the T-line. VRX. Right now you stay short until you see a buy signal. Just be more aware that you're in the oversold area, so you start watching for a buy signal to cover short positions. Nike still in the 45 degree. If you're long, you stay long. I wouldn't want to see it trade back below the T-line, though. MasterCard, slow, steady uptrend, but that's kind of the qualifier. It's a very slow percentage-wise uptrend. Microsoft, well, shuts. Another one that's very slow uptrend. probably something that you don't want to trade, more of a long-term hold situation. Google needs to get back up above the T-line. If you were short, you would have covered it today. You can always re-short some of these if they open lower. We did Boeing, Lockheed, just stay long. At this point, I would probably use today's open as my stop. If it comes back down through there, probably want to close out the position. Didn't we do this earlier, UPH? Nothing here. You've got a potential up move, but no reversal signal. If you had been short, I would have covered the short. I just wouldn't be going long. BYD. Just stay long as it stays above the T-line, which means it pretty much needs to open positive tomorrow to stay in it. Cool. That's a good-looking breakout. I wouldn't be afraid to be buying that one on positive trading tomorrow. SPPI, stay long. HRZ, not coming up. CNAT, nothing. Wouldn't be long or short this one. That's right. It laid an egg. Yeah, TMI is right. Boot. Boot has to open positive and trade positive tomorrow to stay in it. If it opens lower, I'd close it out and just wait for it to come back up above the T-line. But if it opens lower, instead of a J-hook pattern, now you've got the semblance of a slow drifting downtrend. Yeah, Sylvain, sorry about that. I would be happy to show it to everybody if they've been here. They want to know. These are people that want to know. That one's not working. STAF, not anything real exciting there. And with a 60-cent stock, you better have big volume on that. Stan, nothing major on the, I looked through the different soybeans. If you're short, I'd get ready to cover the short positions. Same with wheat. Get ready to start covering short positions on positive trading. HBI. And toughy to have stayed in it. But if you're in it, you stay long. Don't let it close back below the T-line. Luna. Yeah, you can stay long on this one. Now you have to watch to see if they can get it up through the 200-day moving average. AEO, you stay short. AET, Aetna. Morningstar signal, right smack dab on the 50 up through the T-line. You can buy this one again. You're not going to make a whole lot of percentage money on this one, but it's heading in the right direction. And O'Reilly's, nothing here yet. If you're short, you stay short. You can see what your trend is, and it's still caught in this downtrend. HFC, another one that looks like it's supported on the 200. If you'd been short, you cover your shorts. You can always re-short it if it comes back down through the 200. We did Hertz. Hertz, you stay long. Notice how it used the 200 as a support today. There's really no buy signal here. So usually what will happen is if you don't have a buy signal, I mean, this is just an update in a downtrend, that you're probably going to have much greater probabilities that it's going to stall at the first resistance level. So once again, we come back to the scenario that if this was some sort of reversal signal, the Japanese race traders after 400 years would have told us what it is, but they just don't have they don't tell you to even pay attention to it. XPO, same scenario, not quite a buy signal. It needs to break that downtrending channel, so I probably wouldn't buy it until it got up through the 20-day moving average. Facebook, if you're got back in it or you're thinking about getting back in it, I'd be more apt to get in it if it breaks this little downtrending channel. You do have a little doji gap up. I want to see more confirmation. Oh, John, I can't remember. And it wasn't that it passed, that there was all that ache and pain of a passing stone. I've had back aches and side aches for the last month. So I think this was just kind of sitting where it shouldn't be sitting until it jumped out. Coffee, backing off. Let's see what the KCAU7. So you can see what coffee's doing is backing off right now. And DVAX, nothing. That's just a chunky chart. Nothing there to sink your teeth into. Facebook, yeah, it's a little Morningstar signal, but it's again, it's still got this resistance level. It needs to see more upside. And you're not in the oversold area yet, so just doesn't look as strong as something that was occurring like right down here. Oh, Jamie, I've had these for years. Just lucky. There, I'm answering questions. Silver also backing off at the resistance level. So if it opens weaker tomorrow, you can be going short. When it comes back up through, do it, SIA 27. This is silver, as you can see. It's kind of caught here, resisting at the 200. IBM, I think, is still in the basing stage. Right now, it wouldn't be long or short IBM. And Vail, stay short. One more. Gold is starting to back off a little bit. Let's see. GCA Q7. That's not it. GCA Q7. Yeah, that's gold right now. And I think there's somewhat of a resistance level right in here. So watch to see what it does here at the T-line. All right, last one. Ollie. Nothing wildly exciting. Just a very slow uptrend. Okay, these are the last ones. EDU, same scenario. It needs to break out into a new high area. And LRCX, another one not real excruciatingly exciting, not a real reversal signal. It's probably going to move up, but I'd be very conscious to see what happens once it gets to the first resistance level. Okay, so we still have a market that's not given up the ghost yet. It did some profit taking, but as you can see, about every 4 weeks you get a profit taking, and that's all we saw right here. All right, everybody, have a good evening. We will see you bright and early in the chat rooms tomorrow. We'll see you then.